In this video, I'm going to give you some tips for post-lab 35, the directive effects in the bromination of vanillin. In question number 1, you'll just have reported your data from the experiment. And then in question number 2, you're going to identify the product based on its melting point. Take a look at table 35.1 in your textbook. That is on page 295. That gives you the melting point of the 3 possible products. Your 3 possible products are 2 bromovanillin, 5 bromovanillin, and 6 bromovanillin. I'm just going to abbreviate those. And so you'll compare your melting point to the published melting points of these 3 substances, and that's how you'll identify it. Then you are going to do a yield calculation. First, convert your mass of vanillin into millimoles, and then convert that into the theoretical millimoles. The balanced equation for this reaction is on page 294. Once you know the millimoles of bromovanillin, you can convert that into mass of bromovanillin and then calculate your percent yield, which is going to be your actual yield divided by your theoretical yield times 100. Analyze the purity by taking a look at the melting point of your product, comparing it to the published melting point in table 35.1, and just decide what you think makes it pure, or decide if you think that the melting point indicates that it is pure. Very pure things are obviously going to have a melting point that is very close or exactly the same as the published melting point, and also with basically no range or very little range in the melting point, meaning that it melts at 150 or it melts from 150 to 151, small range of temperature over the melting process. And then last, you are going to be doing one of these little flow diagrams for the reaction. You're not going to get a list of anything this time, so you're going to have to fill it in yourself. And this is telling you, assume that yes, you did need to use sodium thiosulfate, so just going to include that in there because you probably had to use it. And notice you're not including the recrystallization in this diagram, just the reaction itself. So that means you're just going to be putting all of the different substances up here, everything that you combined together prior to the filtration process. We're not including the recrystallization that would happen here. So this is like getting us to the crude product. But there you go.